My dad landed from Australia yesterday, and the same day he landed I collected this hat from him. He bought it for me, he brought it back to the UK, and by the morning I was already cutting Crocodile. Welcome back, it's Will. So, my dad went to Australia, he goes there quite a lot, but this was his last trip. And as a little bit of a special treat to me, because I've been wanting an Australian hat for decades, is it decades? Almost decades. As a little bit of a last hurrah, he bought me an Australian hat, and I love it. But it's not quite, well, me enough. It needs a little bit of Crocodile. So, what better way to celebrate having my dream hat than with a Crocodile band made by me? It's not just a simple Crocodile band though. It's a little bit of me. So we're going to line it with some beautiful Italian calf. This is from Remy Cariat. It's a grained calf. Embossed grain calf, not tumbled grain calf. I've split it down to 1mm, and I'm using a 0.6mm bonded leather. Now I'm going to be doing a normal raising technique. I'm thinking about doing a full tutorial over on my Skool on how to do a raised belt, because it's the same thing. If you want to do that, let me know. Go join my Skool. You get a free week before anything you have to pay, so it's a week free trial. Come join. But anyway, so I'm going to be doing a belt making tutorial over there, and this is the same technique. You line it, you have a raising strip, but not all belts need bonded leather. Remy Cariat is known for having a really soft hand. It's a very, very soft leather indeed. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep it nice and slim by splitting the calf down, and then we need to back it, because basically the fundamentals, the simplified version of it is if you put a raising strip in leather, the softer leather bends, the harder leather doesn't. So because Crocodile is quite a firm leather, we need to make sure that it's not the Crocodile that stays straight. We need to make the calf stiffer than the Crocodile so that it has to bend. It has no choice but to mold around. So that's what we're doing, and that's why we're using the bonded leather. One thing you'll notice is I'm going to put a metric ton of glue on this. I wanted to show you the whole process. It took me quite a while to glue, and the reason for that is what I just said. It's very difficult to get Crocodile to mold. There's many different types of gluing techniques, but the major two are perimeter and total lamination. Those are kind of the two gluing techniques. I'm doing a full gluing tutorial soon, so don't forget to subscribe for that. I'm very excited to show you. But basically we're laminating this fully because I want a really well defined mold. Basically, there's not really another way of putting it. I have an edge beveler. It's really blunt, and to be perfectly honest with you, I could not be asked to sharpen it for this video. I very infrequently use it. I have started using veg tan for my raising strip. I prefer it, but considering that this band will go around my hat and it will never leave, it will be stitched in position, never leave. There's no tension on this. It's not a belt, it's not holding your trousers together, it's doing nothing. It's sitting there and it's looking pretty. So we don't need to use really fancy expensive leathers inside it. I mean, yes, I'm using expensive leathers on the outside and the inside, but the raising strip doesn't need to be fancy or expensive. This is an aesthetic piece more than anything else. Took a bloody long time to stitch though. As I know all of you are going to ask, I'm using a water-based adhesive. It's an EcoSar 16 PIU. I get this asked every single video, and that is what I'm using. However, would I use a solvent-based adhesive on this? Doing a raising strip on Crocodile is one of those only times that I would use a solvent-based adhesive. I didn't because I couldn't be bothered to open the window. But basically, when you're molding a really tough leather, so Crocodile isn't that tough, but because of the way that the scales work, and I'm doing a full video very soon on how different parts of the Crocodile behave in a different way, so make sure you subscribe for that. But when you are molding crocodile, the scales are quite hard to work with. They're quite hard. They're quite stiff to work with. You can see me using a bone folder for that exact reason. If this was a soft calf, it would only take your finger to push it in. And that's what she said. But this is not a soft calf. This is crocodile. So you need a really strong adhesive to be able to pull it down into that cavity, into that crack, if you like. God, I'm full of innuendos today, aren't I? Why am I using a scalpel and not one of my very, very expensive, very, very nice knives? Well, they're very, very nice. However, a scalpel it's much sharper. There is no way of arguing around that. It is a sharper knife. It is designed to cut. Well, it's designed to do surgery. Let's just say that. I almost got demonetized, so I just had to delete the thing. But anyway, it's sharper. And when you're cutting crocodile or very soft leathers, you want as sharp as possible so there's as little dragging and stretching of the leather. So that's why I did it. My Adrenaline skiving knife is perfect for this. I do need to sharpen it soon. I haven't sharpened it in like 6 months. So this is what you can do with the Adrenaline skiving knife without sharpening it for 6 months. I just drop it very regularly. Now I could have done a visible overlap on this. I could have done a visible overlap, stitched it on, edge painted the whole thing, put a couple of stay stitches in there and be done with it. But I wanted to show you how beautiful something could be when you splice it properly. Splicing crocodile is one of those skills I think everyone should learn, simply because if you do it well, if you do it properly, you can never see where that seam is. If you choose the right, I didn't choose perfect scales for this, but if you choose perfect scales, you have a indefinitely long piece of leather that you can never see the joint of. It's really, really, really clever. Now I'm using a 3mm pricking iron, and I'll be using a 0.45mm thread for this. Again, there's no tension. This isn't a belt. This is going to sit on my hat for the next couple of decades. So I don't need it's also not very thick, so I don't need a really strong stitch in there, like a 0.55mm thread, which is considerably stronger, even though it's only 0.1 thicker. But anyway, I'm doing a matching thread, which there's something about matching thread that most of the time, I mean, I prefer matching thread on basically all exotic builds, because I think on exotic builds, you need to let the skin do the talking, and that's why I do matching thread for basically all of them. What am I doing? I am melting wax into the thread. I'm using a creasing iron, set quite high. It's set to 37 or 38. Not that high really, actually, now I think about it, but it's hot enough to melt wax. Meaty superfine linen thread comes waxed, but I always recommend waxing your thread unless it's polyester, because you'll just melt it. You'll melt the thread. Obviously, I'm not showing you how to do all of the stitches because it would take years, but this is how I terminate thread. I go between the layers. I don't pull them both back into the back of the piece. I just go between the layers, snip them off and edge paint it, because that edge paint is going to set in place. It's going to set beautifully, and it's also going to lock those threads in so that they never move. Obviously this took a long time to hammer, so I sped it up like 200%. It is very important you hammer your stitches though. It does lots of things to the aesthetics. It makes it look so much better, so don't forget to hammer your stitches, please. My full edge painting tutorial, and it is a full edge painting tutorial from beginning to end, from before you've even touched it with edge paint to when you're polishing at the end, is going to be on my Skool very soon. I'm putting the finishing touches on it literally as we speak, so come join. It's free for the first week, and I promise you won't regret it. And if you do, cancel it. It's that simple. But I can't wait to see you over there. Have a phenomenal weekend. I will see you next weekend. Take care, guys.